been repeating that ad nauseum. As a Lasallian, I'm telling you right now, very bad memories. But do you see shades of 76 in this Ateneo team?
To address that first part of the statement,
Yeah.
I think everybody's talking about it except for them.
Oh, okay.
They're not talking about
Yeah.
it. They're not comparing. Although Coach O did say different time, different era, different set of players, different opponents. Coming from a pandemic, it's a totally different situation. Us in the media, we love to talk about these
Yes.
things. We love making comparisons and doing narratives, so we can talk about it all we want. But I assure you that the team is not talking about it as much as we do. As for your second question, or your second point about shades of season 76, hard to tell. There are some comparisons, maybe from an individual standpoint. There are people who are saying, oh, Faith is becoming the new Eliza
Yeah,
Valdez in
yeah.
terms of being the go-to girl. Roma Doromal is becoming this Denden Lazaro player type of a libero. Those are some of the comparisons, but a lot of it is unfair also because by the time Gia, Denden, and Eliza got there, they were already considered veterans.
Yeah.
This batch of Ateneo players,
Batang-bata eh.
batang-bata, and that's what's unique about this whole season.
This team, a lot of people have been talking about Ateneo peaking at the right time. And I think it's safe to say, nakita natin yan in their knockout games, that they have. They have reached this level wherein the confidence is there. They swept UST. And I know you called that game because I was in the booth next to you.
Right.
When that happens, when you look at this Ateneo team, quote-unquote, peaking at the right time, do you feel that meron pa silang mabibigay?
Yeah, you know, that phrase, we also love to use that as broadcasters. It's sometimes an oversimplification of what Ateneo has done here in the second round. They are 5-2 in the second round, and then they won their last two. So think about it, they've won 7 of their last 9 games. Peaking at the right time, I think the better phrase, they're coming together at the right time.
Yes.
The other players are stepping up. They're not a Faith Nisperos team anymore. AC Minor, Erica Raagas, Doromal, as I mentioned, and even their setter, of course, Jaja Maraginot, is all playing at a high level at the right time. And you nailed it when you said the confidence is the one that's carrying them through here.
So
through this phase.
we cannot ever discount Lasal. I am sorry, you can call me biased, but we
not at
cannot
all.
discount Lasal.
They're number 2 for a reason.
They're number 2 for a reason, absolutely. But we've seen it time and time again, boom. If you give a team a relatively long break, sometimes we have that argument, rest versus rust.
Right.
Is that something that will be part of the narrative, you feel?
Long break is a relative term in this season.
Yeah.
Na parang dikit-dikit yung mga laro. I think they welcome this little break that they have. There are 2 things here that we have to think about when it comes to Lasal. Confidence, you say about Ateneo. They also are very confident for 2 reasons. Well, maybe even 3. 1, they're the number 2 team. 2, they have a twice to beat advantage. 3, and the big thing here that a lot of people are not talking about, they have a 9-game winning streak over Ateneo.
Yeah.
They haven't won in 5 years. Ateneo hasn't. So Ateneo is confident for sure, but LaSalle is also very confident going into that game, armed with a twice to beat advantage. So Ateneo has to be very special if they want to extend the series.
And you know, I'm sure they want to face NU in the finals as well.
And I'm not saying that just because I'm in front of you.
Yeah.
These are facts.
I know.
These are facts.
I know. I agree. And I'm not discounting it at all. Pero, ayun nga, if for the fans out there who've seen our interview here on the game with the NU Lady Bulldogs, they actually said that they want to play LaSalle in the finals. And I'm pretty sure LaSalle have been told that already. And they are eager to get their hands on the NU Lady Bulldogs. But then, okay, back to this Ateneo-LaSalle rivalry. Of course, people are going to say shades of 76, and your people are going to keep on saying as well that this Ateneo team is peaking at the right time. Do you feel that, let's say, Ateneo do take 1 game away from LaSalle, that maybe LaSalle might finally be on the back foot momentum-wise?
Well, momentum, yeah, for sure. Pressure all of a sudden shifts because now people like us will talk about things differently again.
Yeah.
Social media is going to be talking about it differently again. That is a crucial win. Obviously, for Ateneo, that's a knockout win. They have to win that or else they go home, right? But if they win this, kumbaga, for all the marbles na yung next game, a lot of things won't matter anymore as stats and momentum and pressure. So,
in other words, because it's an elimination game, it's really a coin flip.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So
all right.
There you go.
So, ayun, boom. I know that we prefer talking to an analyst, but then kapag nagkwentuhan din tayo dito, okay rin yan.
One time lang. In the meantime, after the break, Di pa tayo tapos dito sa exciting part. We'll get volleyball rivalry courtside stories from our hard-working correspondents, Julia Vargas and Doreen Suaybaguio. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back to The Game. Alongside Doreen Suaybaguio, I'm Julia Vargas. The rivalry is definitely on as the Ateneo Blue Eagles will be facing the De La Salle Lady Spikers in the UAAP Stepladder Final Four. The TAP squad is coming into the series with a twice-to-beat advantage by virtue of being ranked second. Meanwhile, the Katipunan team will be coming in strong with their 2 straight set wins against UST and Adamson. The UAAP Season 84 volleyball action continues tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. at the Mall of Asia Arena. So, Boom and Pao, will it be green or blue?
I don't know, pero pwede na yata kami mag-walkout dito, Boom.
wala na.
Oo.
Please take over the show.
They can take our jobs.
Just answer
right
your
now.
own questions.
Oh my goodness. All right. Anyway, girls, let's get straight to business here. Unang-una, I want to go to the person who I'm sure is enjoying wearing green right now. Julia.
Of course.
First of all, thank you very much for representing my school this time. The DLSU Lady Spikers have been preparing, but at the same time, alam naman natin that they had to wait quite a bit.
Yeah.
How have they managed that time in particular?
Well, they train twice a day. So that's 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And they have a really good sleeping schedule, which I have to applaud them for because that's not an easy thing to do for
Sleep?
a
What
lot
is sleep?
of us.
Tulog din.
Yeah. So, also, on the morning of a game,
Yeah.
they also do Zumba to just boost up their energy even more. So, or depending on their mood, that's the type of dance they're gonna do.
Have you joined them in Zumba?
I hope so.
No, you
Maybe.
want to join them in Zumba.
Sure.
Okay, sige.
Why not?
All right, why not?
Coach Ramil De Jesus, always an elusive guy to
Yeah.
talk to.
Yeah.
Does he have a personal assessment of how his team has played so far this season, Julia?
Well, he says that whenever the ladies are on the court, they just really need to have that confidence. That's because he really sees that they could do it. He believes in them. So why shouldn't they believe in themselves? And he really serves as this father figure to them. They look up to him. They believe in every word that he says.
Yeah.
So each and every wisdom, words of wisdom that he imparts, the girls always carry with them. And I believe that also applies to those who have left the team.
Yeah.
They still carry.
Yeah.
with
Good
them.
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously, now, Ateneo, all right? Don't worry, I'm wearing maroon here for you. So, how does Ateneo feel here about winning their games so far and their do-or-die games? Kasi syempre, iba rin yung feeling nila winning actual playoff games.
Yeah. Well, at Ateneo, arguably, they've taken the longest route to get to where they are in the season. And I actually got a statement from AC Minor through my correspondent sister, Lexi Rodriguez. And sabi ni AC, at this point, they're inspired to do good because they started really rocky, but then they were able to get through it. They've come so far, but at this point, it's not quite where they want to be just yet. So gusto nila ituloy-tuloy.
Well, AC Minor's been playing so well in
Yeah.
the second round, so I'm glad that you mentioned her. Pressure, nerves, ano bang balita sa Ateneo, knowing that it's a winner-go-home situation for them tomorrow?
Yeah, well, sabi ni Faith, they'd be lying if they say the pressure, yung kaba, it's not getting to them. But being there for each other, having each other's backs, that's enough confidence boost to give their best in the rest of the season.
All right. So, since we're doing an Ateneo-Lasal rivalry, I remember, at least on the basketball side of things, people were saying, like, is the rivalry still alive? Pero at least dito sa volleyball, alam ko buhay na buhay pa eh.
Yeah.
Like, again, despite you wearing green. But, Julia, how does Lasal feel about this rivalry in particular?
Actually, they're not thinking about it at all. Maybe it's at the bottom of their priorities because they see the incoming game as just a normal one. Like maybe they're going up against UE, USC, NU, and Ateneo. They don't want to add any more pressure onto themselves.
Even with a twice-to-beat advantage, what are they feeling? What are they saying
Well,
about
of
this?
course, they have that upper hand, and they really want to use that to their advantage.
Yeah.
Of course, and they really want to maximize it. So, see,
Hoping
Coach,
not to use both.
Oo.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes,
For them,
yes.
at least.
Oh, please.
Yes, not that. But
Oo.
yeah, see, Coach Ramil kasi he values discipline a lot. So he's hoping to see that with the girls, and I'm
Yeah.
sure they're gonna be able to deliver. And yes.
All
we'll
right,
see
and
that.
Doreen, how about, I'm sure that you've talked to Lexi again about
Yeah.
the rivalry.
Yeah.
How do they feel about it? And of course, what about their twice-to-beat disadvantage rather,
Yeah.
going into this one?
Yeah, for Ateneo, every game is a crucial game.
Yeah.
And they can't afford to lose anymore. So, they're just facing it na thinking that na must-win mindset talaga.
Coach O, say anything? Is there anything? He says so many things.
Yes.
He has
Yeah.
so many quotes.
Yeah.
Did he say anything special?
Yeah, Coach O believes that the team has what it takes. Sabi niya nga, this team, this bunch is one that won't give up. That's what he
Yeah.
said. And they have the defensive skills, the attacking skills, and they have trust in God. So buo yung tiwala niya that the team will see the season through.
Well, these two teams, Ateneo Lasal, iba talaga. We've seen it all on social media especially. But girls, syempre, when you talk about how these teams are preparing and you talk about how they're trying to focus in on one point, I want to ask you in particular, when you were talking to them, did you see that medyo mabigat, sense of nerves, or did you feel that medyo light sila?
Actually, I was able to talk to them through our sister Kyla D.
Okay.
Because they're very locked in and focused
Okay.
on the game.
Yeah. But yeah, welcome to
We are too.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
The
We are
incoming
too.
game. So I think from that pa lang, you can really see that they're focused and
Yeah.
their mind is just
We'll see tomorrow.
Well,
Can't
we'll
wait.
see tomorrow. Can't wait. I can't
Coach
wait for
O, by
it.
the way, has not won over Coach Ramil.
Really?
That's another thing there.
The
That one might
subplots.
play. Yeah,
The
tomorrow.
subplots.
Yeah.
Ladies, thank you very
Excited.
much for being locked in the entire time in the show.
And TikToking around.
Yung
my
mga TikTok,
expose.
it's nice that it's happening before the show instead of during. So, thank you very much.
Thank you as well.
Great job, as always.
After the break, we'll break down the Celtics' chances to win the NBA championship in 7 games. Ooh, stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
We're back with you here on The Game. The Boston Celtics now have their backs against the wall as they are 1 game away from losing in the NBA Finals. Tonight, we break down the necessary adjustments needed for them to survive and their potential to win in the next few years. But before we break that down with 4-time UAAP champion Willie Wilson, kamustahin natin si Maverick Anmisi, who is now playing with his newest team in the PBA, the Converge Fiber Xers. Hey, what's up?
All right, so Mav, I want to start with you first because we talk to this guy way too much. How's your group doing? Because this is a really young, really exciting group. We were talking off the air. You said that you're the oldest member of this team.
Yeah.
That must be weird.
It is very weird because I feel like it was just not too long ago where I came in as a rookie and now I'm the oldest person on the team. So, you know, but we have a really good group. We got a lot of good pieces. Yeah, and it's been fun so far.
All right. Now I had fun calling their game recently, and really the pieces are all there. They're all young. Mav doesn't look old at all.
Blending in.
Absolutely. So let's now move on to the NBA, and I like what we're doing here, Boom.
Right.
We're asking two Lakers fans to talk
There we
about
go.
how
Yes.
Boston could survive the Warriors
Come back,
come back
maybe
and
win the
potentially
title.
win, right?
Okay.
So Coach Willie, you are so against. Well, when we started, you said Warriors in 5, and obviously might be Warriors in 6. But then, how can Boston adjust?
All right. Well, speaking about Boston, we see the loss and the last loss that they had. How do they lose with Curry not making a three-point shot, right? So when you ask me this question, how can Boston extend the series?
Yeah.
I just want to go ahead and say that they can't. But obviously, we need to find answers, and let's start with the turnovers. All right, 18 turnovers, way too much. You'd rather see at least half of those be attempts at the basket. They're fueling Golden State's transition, which is actually what aided Golden State in winning that ball game.
Maverick, in a scale of 1 to 10, can they extend the series Game 7? They're usually good. Let me ask you, not as a Laker fan or anything like that. As a fan, you said you like a good series. You like watching great basketball games.
Yeah.
Now, they're usually great after defeats, right? That's what they've been known for since January. Can they extend this to a Game 7? And if they do, what are their chances on the road? Which, again, they've been good at against Milwaukee and Miami.
I mean, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that it goes to a Game 7, but Golden State is tough.
Yeah.
Golden State is tough. Regardless, I mean, look, Steph didn't make a 3 last game, but they still won. So, it's going to be a dogfight, definitely. And with all the chatter going on between both teams, it's like it's going to be a good Game 6.
Yeah, just looking at all the numbers, I think in Game 6, the most unbelievable part, the last game rather, the most unbelievable part was the fact that Curry didn't hit a 3. But then we look at the other side of the stat sheet, and the numbers were relatively okay for the Boston Celtics. And Mav, I just want to ask you first, what's your opinion on how Tatum and Brown have been producing here in the finals for the Celtics overall?
I mean, I think they're playing to their potential. You know what I mean? Jaylen Brown's been playing well. They are definitely the main focal points on the team, obviously. So Golden State is focusing on them defensively more.
Yeah.
In the games that they don't produce that well in scoring, they're still doing what they can on the offensive boards, assists, all that. So I think those two are just playing, out of their minds right now.
Coach, the funny thing about this, when you're listening to the conversations about Celtics, especially, let's say, Jayson Tatum. Oh, he's a superstar. Next game, he's not a superstar. Next game, he's a superstar. Next game, nah, he's just not there. What is your take on him?
All right, he finishes the regular season, being a member of the first team All-NBA. So, bona fide superstar.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get that out the way. Bona fide superstar.
Okay.
And the numbers, they're good. 23 points per game in the finals. Not really what he did in the regular season, but the main thing is the fourth quarters.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The first few rounds of the playoffs, excellent in the fourth quarters. Him and Jaylen Brown. But then now he just comes up short in these fourth quarters. Granted, yes, Game 7 in the previous series, Game 7 in the series prior to that
46,
one.
right?
Yeah,
That was a 46
right.
point.
So it could be fatigue.
Okay.
Whatever it is, he is coming up short in these fourth quarters.
Yeah, we talk about these guys a lot, and of course, I think it's safe to say that these two are going to be the cornerstones of the franchise moving forward.
Break him up, break him
Yeah,
up.
well, you know what's interesting?
None of that anymore.
You know why we're
Hey, bring out the sledgehammer.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out the ages of the Celtics right now.
Okay.
And for those who go through it, I think you're all going to realize that based on their rotation, it is only Al Horford who's above the age of 30. Which, honestly, no big surprise. Coach Willie was very critical of Al Horford's fit for the Celtics against the Warriors, and right after, Horford
goes for a career high in points made, which is,
So let's say that this core is kept together. Mav, you'll see the numbers there, you see the ages. Do you feel that if they retain this core, that it could still contend for championships moving on, or do you think pieces still need to move because that probably won't be as sustainable?
I think that they do need some pieces. That's just my opinion. They're young. They still play well. Obviously, they're in the finals. You know what I mean? They have a great core. But I think in order for them to move to the next level and be that contender every single season, I think they're going to need some more pieces.
What kind of pieces are we talking about, Coach Willie?
Well,
in your mind.
Honestly, I think Tatum and Brown are just the same player.
Oh.
And I don't think that I think this year was.
I like his reaction.
I think this year was pretty much an aberration. You're not going to see this consistently from Tatum and Brown together.
Year to year.
Yeah, as you see, when the going gets tough for them, they convert to just straight ISO ball. It's my turn. Okay, now it's your turn.
Right.
And in a long series, that's not going to work. We talked about who they played in the previous series, a broken down Miami Heat, a dysfunctional Brooklyn Nets. If you can't move the ball and complement each other, I don't think you can be consistent every season.
You had a reaction. What was the reaction about?
I mean, no, it's a great point. But I'm just wondering, so who you trading?
No,
that's a good question.
you got to keep Tatum. You got to keep Tatum.
Oh, okay,
He's your All-NBA player.
Okay.
You got to keep Tatum.
Yeah.
And just build around Tatum and get guys that complement him.
I'm not gonna lie, Boom. I thought that he was gonna say trade Al Horford first.
Hey, Al Horford going to retire if they try to trade him. You got that retirement clause.
Back to OKC with the young boys.
Yeah, you got that retirement clause.
All right, but Mav, you see this group. Do you feel that, let's say they don't move on, they did run into a bit of luck in the playoffs. So obviously, you have to be lucky to win the playoffs.
Sure.
But do you think that this group could win a championship next year? Let's say if they do keep this course,
Or make it there again.
yeah, or even make it there in general.
Honestly, I don't think so.
Really?
I just think there's too many teams that, were unhealthy that they went past. And, it's a bit of luck for me. I think that they made it there being such a young team. But, that doesn't discredit to what they've done already.
So bring out the sledgehammer, says
Break 'em up.
Easy.
Break 'em up.
Says
Love the
Coach
shirt
Wilson.
too, by the way.
There you go.
That hurts my feelings. All right, Boom.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
Coach,
much.
for being here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.